Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, best weapon combinations of Throne and Liberty. I am playing Throne and Liberty on servers in Korea from day one, since December 7th, 2023. I didn't miss even one day, so I have for you today best combinations of weapons regarding DPS, tank and healer. Before we start, let me just say subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more of Throne and Liberty videos in the future. As you can see, I'm already here in the game playing Throne and Liberty on servers in Korea. Also check my live streams on Twitch. I am live streaming every evening about 6 p.m. Central European Time, gameplay from servers in Korea. But now let's dive into main topic of this video, best weapon combinations for tank, DPS and healer. You can see here I already put a list. I'll talk about this list in the details. You can see here few different combinations for each role for tank, DPS and healer. You need to know on the start, before we dive into anything, that in Throne and Liberty we don't have any kind of classes. Basically, you decide the role of your character by choosing combination of two different weapons. So let's start here with best tank combos or weapons. You can see here I can write down 3 combinations which are absolutely viable, and I will explain each one of these combinations. We have here Sword and Shield Wand, Sword and Shield Dagger, and Sword and Shield Greatsword. All of these 3 combinations are viable. However, for example, if you want to play Sword and Shield Wand combination for tanking, you'll be actually some kind of paladin in Throne and Liberty. Why? Reason is simple, because Wand as a weapon have a healing abilities. If you pick, for example, Sword and Shield Dagger combination, you'll be a Wade kind of tank. So with Dagger, you're getting lots of passive skills, very useful passive skills, which will give you lots of crit and evasion. Actually, what is interesting, this combination Sword and Shield Dagger is pretty much broken currently in the game, because Dagger will buff your crit and damage overall. So not only that you'll be able to tank and evade, you'll also be able to produce high amount of damage. So Sword and Shield Dagger currently feels actually any combination of weapon with Dagger. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Basically any combination of weapons with Dagger currently in the game feels a little bit broken, because passive skills of Dagger, not active, but passive skills of Dagger will buff your crit damage and damage overall. Plus few skills of the Dagger are really powerful. I'll talk about that a little bit later. However, if you want to play a Wade kind of tank, you can choose Sword and Shield Dagger combination. And on the end we have like standard, let's call it tank on that way. You have Sword and Shield Greatsword combination weapon, also viable. I have seen in the open world players tanking 15 mobs. 15, like 12, 16 mobs, huge groupations of the mobs, single player, one player, tanking lots of mobs with this combination of weapons, Sword and Shield Greatsword. So if you have decided to be tank in Throne and Liberty, you'll pick one of these 3 combinations. Which is the best? Well, it's entirely up to you. Like I said, if you want to be paladin type of tank, pick Sword and Shield Wand combination, because Wand have healing abilities, support abilities. I'll talk a little bit later about healing role. Sword and Shield Dagger, high crit, a Wade kind of tank, lots of damage, and Sword and Shield Greatsword on the end, one standard type of the tank. Let's go forward with best DPS builds of Throne and Liberty, because currently we already know what are the metas. And regarding damage output, currently this combination which I have right first one, Crossbow Dagger, feels most powerful one. The highest damage combination of Throne and Liberty. Single target damage, PvE damage, also viable in PvP to some point. Why? Crossbow is not actually a real range kind of weapon. It's some kind of medium, let's say, kind of weapon. Neither melee, neither range. If you want to play some kind of range kind of weapon, you want to pick a longbow, staff, or maybe some other weapon. Crossbow, however, feels like one really fast-paced kind of weapon. And if you combine that with Dagger, which have passive skills, highly increasing your crit damage and damage overall, and also Dagger have poison skill, ambush, very useful, and also invisibility, stealth. So if you combine Crossbow with Dagger, you will have probably the highest DPS output in the game. You can see, however, here some other combinations of weapons, and most of these weapons are combination with Dagger. Like some weapon, main weapon, for example, greatsword with dagger, longbow with dagger, staff with dagger. Basically, anything with dagger will have high damage. Why? I'll repeat this one more time because it's very, very important. It's not about active skills of the dagger. Yes, there are some active skills of the dagger like stealth, invisibility. Yes, there is poison over there, like some kind of assassin poison, let's call it like that, and ambush skill, like real assassin. But it's more about passive skills of the dagger. Passive skills of the dagger are really, really powerful. They are increasing your critical damage and damage overall. So basically, any weapon you pick as main, then additionally pick dagger, you will have really nice damage output. However, the highest damage output currently in the game, crossbow dagger. Second combination, which I can write down here, is greatsword dagger. I can play actually that combination also in the game. Very powerful combination. You don't feel that squishy because of the greatsword and generally. Another combination here, longbow crossbow. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about a longbow crossbow. I don't like this combination. I can write it down here. Yes, it does have pretty decent damage output, but I don't like it for one specific reason. You see, a longbow is a range weapon, very nice range. However, crossbow doesn't have that range, same range as longbow. So basically, for example, it was in many cases happening that when I was using some skills of the longbow, right, hitting the target, and then I'm switching to crossbow skills, your character needs to walk few meters closer to the target and you are losing time, and then hit the skill, right? Use the skill, because range is not enough, right? It doesn't have enough range. You need to get closer. So longbow crossbow kind of feels funny because of that walking character, right, to the closer distance. Crossbow, I know that it sounds like really range weapon, but it's not. A longbow is a really range weapon. Staff, range weapon, definitely. Wand, range weapon. Crossbow, some kind of medium weapon. Not really melee, but absolutely not ranged. Dagger staff, absolutely viable. Like I have said, staff combined with dagger. A longbow dagger, very powerful, beautiful combination of weapons. Range kind of combination, but additionally you have dagger passives and some abilities of the dagger if some target comes closer to you, right? And a longbow staff on the end, I can write down here. I need to mention something very important regarding this combination longbow staff. So this is full range kind of combination of weapons. It's viable, but you are very squishy. I would call it very situational because you are too squishy. You are too squishy. Also, you will miss passives from the dagger. So you have longbow staff, right? Two beautiful weapons to play, range kind of combination, but don't forget, if you use this combination of weapon, yes, you will have very nice damage, but you will be very, very squishy, and also you are missing crit and damage buff from the dagger. Let's go forward with best healing and support combinations, and you will notice here basically almost any weapon, not every weapon, combining with wand. Wand is currently the only real healing weapon in Throne and Liberty. You have two healing abilities, really healing abilities, one group, one solo. You're getting it later during your leveling. And basically you can see here first combination I have right here, staff wand. This would be like real healer. You have some other combinations here like dagger wand, crossbow wand, longbow wand, and GS wand, which would be support. You know what I mean, right? I mean, you will be still able to heal, don't get me wrong, but it would be more like support DPS. For example, GS wand, greatsword wand, I have even leveled up my first character to level 50 with that combination of weapons. Can you heal with GS wand, greatsword wand combination? Yes, you can. But also, you can make some damage. You can also make some damage. For example, dagger wand. Yeah, absolutely. Not only that you'll be able to heal and support your party members, you can also make damage. Crossbow wand. Actually, crossbow wand, also very nice for damage. And the longbow wand, what is interesting, with the longbow wand, you can actually heal a real lot. A longbow wand is actually supplementing itself, these two weapons, really nicely for healing. And also, you can make damage. A real healer would be staff wand, but then again, you can use staff. Staff is a magical weapon, ranged weapon, which can also make damage. Also, what is important to say, we have seen recently developers of the game, NCSoft, they have increased chances of rainy weather from 10% to 20% on servers in Korea. And you have a feeling, it's kind of funny actually, you have a feeling that it's raining all the time. Why is this important? Because of the staff. Staff have some skills, not all of the skills, which are actually buffed during the rainy weather. Take that in consideration. Recently, it's kind of strange to say there is more rainy weather than sunny weather in Throne and Liberty, and staff, yes, is highly influenced by the weather. Rainy weather, if you play staff, you will like it. So these combinations, at least in my opinion, would be currently, I will not say meta, there are no like real metas in Throne and Liberty. You can play any combination of weapons you want. All depends, for example, regarding best DPS builds. Do you want to be melee DPS or ranged DPS? Like I said, currently crossbow dagger feels like the highest damage output combination of weapons, absolutely. Nevertheless, greatsword dagger as melee DPS is amazing. Longbow crossbow, decent. Dagger staff, absolutely. Longbow dagger also. So there are many different combination of weapons which you can use even on best DPS builds, even on best tank combinations, right? You don't need to be sword and shield greatsword tank. You can go sword and shield wand if you want to be paladin type of tank, or sword and shield dagger. Nice damage output, a weight kind of tank. And regarding healing, it's pretty much straightforward situation, pretty simple. Use wand in combination with some other weapon, all depends on you, right, on your gameplay style, and you'll be able to heal your party members. So currently, after more than 5 months playing a Throne and Liberty on servers in Korea, I can tell you I have tried to play all of these weapons in the game, and I'm certain in these meta builds regarding tanking, DPS and healing. Absolutely, you can have different kind of opinion if you have played Throne and Liberty on servers in Korea, but at least in my opinion, regarding tank, DPS and healer, currently in the game with patch note, which we have, right, with a different kind of situation regarding balance between weapons, these will be the best combinations for tanking, healing and DPS. If you are interested into Throne and Liberty, I'm preparing lots of content for global release of this game. I already have about 200 videos. Yes, you heard good. About 200 videos, different kind of guides, news, updates from World of Throne and Liberty. And I'm preparing lots of content, videos like this one, guides for new players from World of Throne and Liberty. Thank you for watching the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Twitch to see more of Throne and Liberty videos in the future. I'm live streaming every evening about 6 p.m. Central European Time, gameplay from servers in Korea, so join me on Twitch if you want to be informed regarding what is happening in World of Throne and Liberty. See you soon.